Shalawam, shalawam. Hey, shalawam, shalawam. Come in, come in, come in. All right. And as YouTube fair use on these videos that I'm about to use, okay, I'm gonna give about 2 to 4 minutes for people to come in, and we're gonna start the lesson very soon. We're gonna be addressing Hebrew, proper ancient Paleo Hebrew, okay? We're gonna be addressing Yiddish. We're gonna be addressing, is it E's, O's, I's, V's, J's, F's in Hebrew? And we're gonna be addressing false names and all of that. All right, so come in, get a notebook, get your Bibles, and we're gonna begin in about a minute or so. All right. And shalawam, shalawam to all that's coming in. Shalawam, shalawam. Hey, shalawam, shalawam. As you come in, share the live. And we'll begin. We're going to begin in about 30 seconds. Get your notebooks, get your Bibles. We're going to go over proper Hebrew. Okay? Halalyam, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Barak, Ahtham to you and your household. Ahtham. Shalawam, shalawam. All right. All right, so I think we good enough. 10 people. Let's get to it. Facing the east towards Jerusalem. All praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well and taught us this truth in sincerity. And shalawam to all the sincere Ahtham out there pushing this 100% doctrine on the highways and byways, on the net, which we call the internet, all right, and waking up our people. Wake up, Jacob. Shalawam also to the 1/3, men, women, and children, maintaining yourself in this truth, following the laws, commandments, and statutes given to us by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? Shalawam to the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David. Now, first things first is we have to address where we got our language from. Okay? And that's very simple. Let's go to Isaiah 19th chapter, verse 18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to Yahawah of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. So, what did we eventually do? We took over the land of Canaan. And who came out of the land of Canaan, that area, right? What did they speak? Well, actually, let's take it back to Genesis. Okay? Let's take it back to Genesis, the 14th chapter, 13th verse. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram, and this would later be changed to Abraham, all right? His name would later be changed to Abraham. Abram, the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. Okay? So, let's get the word Hebrew. Because if he was a Hebrew, then that's also the language that he spoke. He spoke Hebrew. Okay? Hebrew, one from beyond, a designation of the patriarch of the Israelites. A designation of the patriarchs and the Israelites. All right?
Strong's H 5680. Ivri.
And this is incorrect. Okay? Because it's really Ibar. Alright? Because Hebrew, which is really the name of the person that preserved the language. Eber. Okay? Ibar. And we speak Ibar Yarf. We speak Hebrew. We speak the land of Hebrew. Yeah, we speak the land of Canaan. So, more so, let's get it on here. Alright, what is Hebrew goes back to it's also known as a Phoenician language. Right? Let's go to Wikipedia. Simple. Scrolling a little bit. And this one, man, we're going to be going into articles. We're going to be going into the internet, videos, and things like that. Because I feel like we really got to get deep into this, okay? The Phoenician alphabet is a consonantal alphabet used across the Mediterranean civilization of Phoenicia for most of the first millennium BCE. It was one of the first alphabets and attested in Canaanite and Aramaic inscriptions found across the Mediterranean region. In the history of writing systems, the Phoenician script also marked the first to have a fixed writing direction, while previous systems were multi-directional. Phoenician, Salaki, I haven't been moving it. Phoenician was written horizontally from right to left. How do we write Hebrew? From right to left. Okay, it's important things to look at this. Attested in Canaanite and Aramaic inscriptions. Okay? Isaiah 19 and 18 speaks about this. If we go back. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to Yahawah of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. The language of Canaan is a Phoenician language. All right? This is Phoenician, the Phoenician alphabet, the Canaanite alphabet, and Hebrew is one and the same. As you can see, you come over here. All right? It's one and the same. This is Phoenician script. All right? With variations, but for the most part, one and the same. We speak a Phoenician language. We speak a Canaanite language. This is the language that was passed down via Eber, via the Hebrews. Okay, at the end of the day. So, Eber, that language will be passed down and it would eventually get to Abraham. And Abraham would speak that same language that Eber or Ibar spoke. This Phoenician language, this Canaanite language. Okay? Now, that brings me to this video. And really, I could get either one. We'll probably watch both of them. And I'm going to speed it up. And fair use. Okay? Bring it back a little bit. And I'm going to let it go.
Well, we're here at the Los Lunas Decalogue Stone, or near it. And according to many, the Los Lunas inscription is an abridged version of the Decalogue, or the Ten Commandments, carved into the flat face of a large boulder resting on the side of Hidden Mountain near Los Lunas, New Mexico, about 35 miles south of Albuquerque, and that's where we are now. Now, according to scholars, the language is in Hebrew. The script is an Old Hebrew alphabet with a few Greek letters mixed in, and you can see Klein, who wrote a paper in 1982, and Deal in 84, Stonebreaker in 82, Underwood in 82, and others, which will be linked below. So come along, let's go take a look and see if we can find the Los Lunas Decalogue stone. Ready?
And I'm going to fast forward to them getting to the stone.
Inscription that we found on the internet. And this bed frame with tons of glass. This is a very sacred. And
now, he's about to talk about the stone. So understand that the tribe of Gad, which you know as Native Americans, they are responsible for this. They're responsible for writing this language into the stone, preserving the language, which this is the 10 Commandments at the end of the day. All right. So you have certain artifacts around this planet with the proper language, still displayed. Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew, okay? Where it's no E's, no O's, no U's, no V's, no J's, no F's. All right? This is a physical stone that the Native Americans, who are Israelites, they wrote our language, the 10 Commandments, in this stone, and this is in New Mexico. All right, so I'm going to let this go a little bit.
The top line has been ruined.
The top line has been ruined. Who you think did that? Who you think did that? Yeah, just guess.
What do you got to say?
Something else about the erosion and this being at an angle.
Yeah.
The fact that this is the rest of this, if it's creek bed or whatever it is, a wash.
It's the reason why.
So with the water coming down to this way, it's going to hit this wall and wash it out quickly.
Yeah,
So it makes perfect sense that this flopped over.
it's going to be gone really quick. It's
Yeah.
not. It's going to be full out.
All this water is going to hit this wall and move around in here and wash all this shit out. So
Come on,
no
man.
wonder it fell over.
There it is. There it is, the Decalogue stone.
A lot of deltas in there.
Oh, of course, man. Come on.
Is convinced that the inscription you're looking at is ancient and thus authentic. He reports that he first saw the text here in 1933, and at the time it was covered with lichen completely, and patina, it was hardly visible. And he was taken to the site by a guide who had seen it as a boy back in 1880. That's according to Tabor, 1997. At present, the inscription itself is badly chalked and scrubbed up, as you can just see, because like we just showed you. And so, it looks fake when you come up here. I mean, obviously, it looks pretty recent. Yeah, the inscription uses Greek tau, zeta, delta, eta, and kappa reversed in place of their Hebrew counterparts tau, zayin, aleph, heth, and kaf, indicating a Greek influence as well as a post-Alexandrian date. Despite the archaic form of alpheus, the letters yoth, koth, and flat-bottomed shin have been distinctively Samaritan form, suggesting the inscription may be Samaritan in origin, according to Libzarski and Purvis, 1902 and 1968. I have tons of information, interesting information, which we'll link below about the inscription. Lots of studies have been done. If the Los Lunas inscription here you're looking at is indeed Byzantine Samaritan inscription, it may be significant that the 6th century historian Procopius reports that the Byzantine Empire Justinian, that's from 527 to 565 AD, undertook a massive persecution of the Samaritans in particular. So these could be, these could be the persecuted Jews, Palestine, or many other groups of people that actually made the stone. It happens to be in a place that, the stones.
What did he say? Let's rewind that. Rewind that.
Many other groups of persecution of the Samaritans in particular. So these could be, the persecuted Jews, Palestine, or many other groups of.
And who are the true JEWSs? That's the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and we're gonna get closer to it in another video, but I'm just letting him go through a little bit of history. Now, as he said something about the Byzantine Empire, understand the Byzantine Empire came after the Roman Empire, and during that empire, that was Jake. We call Jake is Negroes, right? You're gonna see in they got Gladiator 2, and they got Denzel in there playing. He's a Jake. He's playing a Roman. It's letting you know that, yes, black people were in prominent positions during Rome and afterwards during the Byzantine Empire. That was nothing but Jake. King James, that's a Jake. Okay? All right? And all before that. The Moors, y'all know about the Moors so much, but y'all can't really tie it to the Bible. That's Jake. Those are Israelites, all right, that lost their path, that went off and started doing Islam, all right? But it's letting you know that Jake was ruling from those times. They also call it the Dark Ages, all right? So don't just think that we just came out of Africa out of nowhere, 1492. No, we was ruling long before then. We was ruling this planet, ruling this earth. All right. Now, I want to go to the other video real quick because he ain't giving me too much.
1 mile southwest of Albuquerque lies the Los Lunas Decalogue Stone, which displays what many people believe is the Ten Commandments written in what appears to be Old Hebrew. There is much debate over whether these inscriptions are authentic or an early 20th century hoax. When my brother and I arrived at the site on a hot July day, we immediately noticed that the writing was at an angle. After walking up to it, we both stood in silence and tilted our heads to the right simultaneously in order to see the petroglyph better. The angle of the writing gives the impression that the boulder had moved from its original location where it was inscribed. The petroglyph symbols are heavily chalked and easy to see, but unfortunately this does not allow the carvings to be presented in their original state. The first official report of the stone was made in 1933 by Professor Frank Hibbins, an archaeologist and lecturer at the University of New Mexico. He claimed that upon seeing the inscription it was covered in lichen, a fungus that takes decades or even centuries to grow. Professor Hibbins was shown the site by a local...
That's right. That right there is dating it. It's covered in lichen. This stuff right here. So that's letting you know it's been there for centuries. A century is 100 years. So this has been there for hundreds of years. All right. It's been there for a long time. Now, when did the Northern Kingdom get over here? When did the Northern Kingdom get over here? Let's go to 2nd Esdras and the Apocrypha. All right. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Oshé the king, who Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So these are actually names that you can look up. Let's look up King Salmanassar, of Assyria, because we can get an actual time period. Boom. Salmanassar, Neo-Assyrian, cuneiform, right? And this is what we want down here. King of the Neo-Assyrian Empire from the death of his father, Tiglath-Pileser the third, in 727 BC, to his deposition and death in 722 BC. So, take it back to the Bible. This is the time period right now that we got. All right? Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. So this is the Northern Kingdom, the 10 tribes, which is your Latinos and Native Americans. So they were led captive because of what they did. Because they went against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and they worshiped false gods. All right? Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen. What's a heathen? That's anybody that's not an Israelite. All right? That's other nations. That's your Moabites, which is your Chinese, your Ammonites, which is Japanese, Elamites, which is your Persians, okay? Indians. That's your Ishmaelites, which is your Arabians, okay? Anybody else that's not an Israelite. Edomites, which is your so-called white man. Anybody else that's not an Israelite, all right? That's a heathen. And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. What is that place? America. Because nobody ever dwelled over here. Nobody ever lived over here. All right? That they might there keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. Because as we know, they went against the laws and they didn't keep the laws and commandments. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High, Yahawah, then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. So Yahawah allowed them to come over to this place. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And that's how long it takes for you to travel across the Atlantic Ocean in that time. In ships, a year and a half. And we know that because King Solomon had Haram, which is your Hamites, Africans, true Africans. And this is in 1 Kings he had them traveling from Africa to South America, getting gold and bringing it back to him. Okay? So, and it took them what? It took them 3 years. It took them a year and a half to get there, get the gold, package it up, put it in ships, and a year and a half to get back. All right? And matter of fact, I'll show y'all that. All right? We talk about it. Let's go get it. 1 Kings, 10th chapter, and we'll start at the 20th verse. Now, matter of fact, we'll start at 22. And all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. This is showing you how, he was a king. He drank out of gold cups. He had money. He was the richest man ever on this earth. All right, past Mansa Musa, and Mansa Musa was also, I believe him to be an Israelite. All right, none were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Haram. And this is around 900 BC, around that time period. All right. So understand that we was traveling the seas before Christopher Columbus. All right. Or any of these so-called white people. They did it, about 1,000, 2,000 years later. All right. So let's keep going. Once in three, and we were the Vikings as well. All right, they tell you those stories that they were the Vikings. No, the first Vikings were Israelites, so-called black men, melanated men. All right, once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. Okay. And where were they traveling to? They were going to what you would know as, what is it called? Ophir. All right? Ophir is basically land of gold. And that's really South America. All right? It was known as the land of gold. So they would go to South America. They would get the gold, get the peacocks, ivory, silver, apes, and bring it back to King Solomon. And he exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. This is how you get what you know as Olmec heads. Let's go look at them. These right here, these are Hamites. These are Africans. All right. When those Africans would come over here, they would build these stones, as markers and things like that. But they did not settle over in this land. But these are Africans. But we are not Africans. We are Israelites. We are not Hamitic. We are Shemitic. All right. We come from the bloodline of Shem. We don't come from the bloodline of Ham. But King Solomon had these Hamites working for him. Okay. Just how we about to have all these other nations in slavery once again. All right. Now, so we put that together. All right. Let's read a little bit more. And all the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which Yahawah had put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and garments and armor. And basically just showing you, man, he had it all. Everybody was coming to us to get the knowledge, to get the wisdom, to get the understanding. Because our king, which this being Yahawashi, if you got the ears to hear, was ruling and had everything. All right. So it took a year and a half for them to get there, a year and a half for them to get back. And that's what we're showing right here. For through that country, there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsareth. And that basically means foreign land. So where did they go? They went to a place where never mankind dwelt. Or Arsareth. Or what you know as America. Okay? And America just simply means misery or bitter. That's what America means if you look it up. It means bitter. This is the land of bitterness. This is the land of misery. All right. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through, therefore solve through the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. So who was left behind? The southern kingdom. Because we were still in Israel. We were still in Jerusalem. And if you read the book of Jeremiah, it'll let you know that Jeremiah was telling the southern kingdom, which is Negroes, Haitians, and Jamaicans and Trinidadians, to turn away from their sin. All right? Or Yahawah is going to put you into slavery like he did the northern kingdom. All right? And they didn't turn away. So what happened? We went into slavery under the Babylonians, under the Persians, under the Greeks, and under the Romans. All right? Until 70 AD, when 1 million of us escaped and went to Africa, and we set up in Africa, which would be known as, we set up in West Africa, okay? And it would be known as Negro land. And I'm kind of getting off topic, but these things need to be said, all right? So we set up in Africa, and it would be known as Negro land. I'm trying to zoom in, man. Boom, okay? This was Negro land. West Africa. This is where we lived at. This would be like present day Guyana and like the land of Mandingos. Those were Israelites as well. All right, so Guyana and things like that. Nigerians, those are some of Nigerians are Israelites. But all Nigerians are not Israelites because some of them are Hamites. Okay, because you still had Ham dwelling in Africa. Cush, Phut, Canaan, and Mizraim, Egyptians. So understand that. And how do we know if you're an Israelite? It's by the spirit, it's by the bloodline, and you really gonna tell, man. You're gonna be like that brother of Jake, like Akon. Yeah, I think that brother's a Jake, right? Like Justin Timberlake, he may look like a white person, but he's a Jake. He's an Israelite. All right. Larry Bird, he's an Israelite. Some people that may look like Caucasians, but they are actually Israelites because their spirit shows it. They got this. They got the salt. They got the flavor. Now, back into this.
Who claim to have first witnessed the inscription in the 1880s. The mystery of the Lost Lunas Decalogue Stone is quite controversial, with many people weighing in on the subject. Cyrus Gordon, author of the 1971 book Before Columbus, Links to the Old World and Ancient America, believed that the carvings were authentic and had this to say about the inscriptions.
Are you a hot sleeper?
Man, come on, man.
Do you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night overheated?
We are not dealing with a modern forgery. It has been there as far back as the local inhabitants. Indians as well as whites knew. The whites have witnessed it since the 1800s. The Indians called this place the Cliff of Strange Writings. The question arises as to what route the carriers of the Samaritan culture took to reach Las Lunas. The later site is near the Rico Porco, a tributary of the Rio Grande. This suggests that the route from Palestine was through the Mediterranean and the Atlantic, then into the Gulf of Mexico, up the Rio Grande, and finally up the Rio Porco to Las Lunas Hidden Mountain. Another idea is that the Decalogue stone could have been carved by a Spanish Jewish migrant between the 17th and 19th centuries who had come to the New World to flee persecution. During the Spanish Inquisition, Jews in Spain were subjected to persecution and discrimination by the Catholic Church and the Spanish government. The Spanish Inquisition was a tribunal established by the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand II and Aragon and Isabel I of...
All right, then they just go into speculation. All right, but as you heard, they knew that the local inhabitants had already wrote that down on that stone. And as the other dude said in the other video, you could tell that the stone had been moved. Okay? So, yeah, Larry Bird is a Jake. He's a Native American. It goes back to his father. It's his father's bloodline. All right? You can go and look up his father. His father is indeed tribe of Gad, a Native American. So Larry Bird is a Native American. And even his mother has Irish in her. And, she could possibly be a Jake as well. Because we ruled Ireland, we ruled Scotland, we ruled those lands before any Edomites, okay? So, if you know a so-called white man and he has Scottish in him, if he may be an Israelite, all right? It just depends on his father's lineage and his grandfather's lineage. Yeah, so Larry Bird is definitely a Jake. You could tell by how he played. You could tell by how he trash talked, how nobody could really, man, he was cold. He was cold, man. Jason Williams, that's a Jake, all right? Where were the Edomites before they came to Ireland? Where you think they was at? They was in them caves, man. They didn't come out of them caves till around the 1400s. Okay, that's documented. They were in the Caucasus Mountains. Where's the Caucasus Mountains? That's between Georgia and Russia. That's where they were living at, in caves. Okay, and those that did live in Europe, when the Moors came to Europe, they had to teach them how to, first of all, build universities. They had to teach them how to wash their ass. They had to teach them several things, man, that an average normal person would understand. But a Edomite, a caveman, a cave dweller, didn't understand because they were sealed. And matter of fact, let's go to the scriptures. All right. That's in the book of Revelation. Okay. Revelations 20:3. And we'll start at 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon. This is Satan. This is the so-called white man. That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. So this is letting you know that same Satan, devil, the dragon, serpent, it's the same person that was in the garden back in the day. It's that same spirit. It's that same evil creation. Okay? This is, and you can look at everything that you do today. It ain't no Jake that's trying to sell you cigarettes. It ain't no Jake that's poisoning the food. Do I got a plane and I'm flying around here putting pesticides on your crops? No. Ain't no Jake selling you cocaine. You got Edomites they flying that shit in. Ain't no Jake giving you guns. You got Edomites bringing that shit in by the boatload, man, and giving it to our people and telling our people, go ahead, exterminate each other. All right? It's the same situation, right? So let's keep it going. Understand that this is the so-called white man, and bound him 1,000 years. And that was from about 300, 400 BC to about 300, 400 AD to about 1400 AD. Because when did slavery really begin? 1492. They came out of them caves around 1400 and they started taking over. When did the Moorish Empire end? 1492. All right, you can look that up. The Moors lost their last battle 1492, and the Edomites basically took over Spain and started taking over Europe and things like that. All right. Now, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. Now, what is the bottomless pit? That's not what you would call hell or nothing like that. That's basically Europe. That's basically the Caucasus Mountains. That's basically a seal on his mind. If you know the Bible, then you would know how Yahawah did Nebuchadnezzar. He was the king of Babylon and he was ruling the whole earth, but he got too full of himself. Yahawah brought him down low and had him out in the field eating the grass like a donkey. Okay? That's in the book of Daniel. So he did that to him. He put a seal on his mind and made the man think like an animal. He did the same exact thing to the Edomite, to Satan, because this dude is Satan. He's the wicked. Okay? That he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosened a little season. And that little season is these 500 years that we living in. From 1492 to now. And guess what? Yahawashi is about to come back. He's about to get rid of Satan. He's about to get rid of the dragon, the serpent, the devil. His time is up. That little season, that 500 years, it's over. It's done. You've had your time. Let's go to Job. And I'm about to get back to the Hebrew, but hey, it's the spirit. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who is the wicked? That's Esau, Edom. That's the so-called white man. The earth is in his hands right now. Doesn't he rule the earth? Isn't he controlling everything? Right? Even though Jake creates everything. Jake created this laptop, this internet. So-called black man created the internet. All right. Jake created the stoplight, this oven, refrigerator, whatever you name it. All right. Beans, greens, peas, tomatoes. Jake created it all. All right. So, but just like a white man comes in, takes it, and corrupts it. Right? Remember when hip hop used to be good in the 70s and the 80s? What did Esau do? They had a meeting around 1990 and they said, we need y'all to make violent music to get these people to hurt and kill each other. All right? And I just got a live restriction, so I ain't going to be too long because they took my live down yesterday. And I ain't with that shit. All right? So I got to watch my language. TikTok be tripping. Put F1 in the comments. Anybody, just put F1. That'll help it. All right, so anything that Jake creates, Esau will come and take and corrupt it and try to, make it bad. Okay? That's what they do. This is what they're good at. They don't create nothing. They duplicate. They don't create. They duplicate. This is what they known for. Okay? Now, let's get to an ending point. So, Phoenician. So we speak a Phoenician Canaanite language. That's the pure language, Hebrew, right? So, but we speak English, and let's get that in the scriptures. All right, Isaiah 28:11. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. This is why we talking in this language. We talking in our slave master's language. Okay? English. We speaking in we speaking in Ebonics, we speaking in slang. Jake be speaking in code, whatever it be. We ain't speaking in the pure language that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi speaks in. And how do we know that Yahawashi spoke in that Hebrew language? Well, let's go to Acts 26, verse 14. And this is Paul. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying, in the what? The Hebrew tongue. So that's letting you know right there. All right, let's keep it going and I'll explain it. Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am. And we know it's no J's, no E's, no U's in the Hebrew. If he's speaking in Hebrew, what is this going to be? Yahawashi. He is salvation. I am Yahawashi, whom thou persecutest. All right? But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness, both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in the which I will appear unto thee. So that's Yahawashi speaking in the Hebrew language. And how do we know that that's his name, Yahawashi? Because that means he is salvation. Now, where does it say that in the scriptures that he will save? He saves, he delivers. Matthew 1st chapter, 21st verse. And she, being Mary, shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahawashi. For he shall save his people from their sins. If you look up the name Jesus, G's and sus, it basically means earth, pig. All right? It doesn't mean he will save. Okay? The closest English word that you got to Yahawashi in English is Joshua. So if they taught us wrong. If you wanna bring it to English, you can say Joshua, but no, we call on our king in Paleo Hebrew, the perfect language, the purest language. We don't call on our king in a false language. It's not gonna be the same effect. Like my name is Jeremiah, but my Hebrew name is Jeremiah. I'm gonna respond to either one because that's my name. That's what I've been called all my life. Okay? What do you think about Tartarian Empire and how that plays in our history? Tartarian, all of that, that's more so, that's not It's not real, man. You know, they giving you a lot of false history out here. Now, a lot of stuff that happened in what you would know as America, far as Native American tribes and things like that, we'll know that all in the end. But understand that our people came over here and they went off. So yeah, it could have been it could have been a Tartarian empire. They could have been ruling in America, and they did. They were ruling in America, but they lost the faith. That's why we being punished. We all served in slavery together. Okay? You don't have any Israelites ruling a country, you know, with their own government, etc., etc. We are all at the hand of Satan. We all under Satan, man. We all got to pay taxes to him. So we all are enslaved, and that's due to the curses. All right, let's go get one curse. You know, Deuteronomy 28:63. And it shall come to pass that as the Yahawah rejoiced over you to do you good. And let's bring this real quick, because this is supposed to be about Hebrew. So Yahawah. I wanted to talk.
Strong's H 3068. Yahawashi.
Now, Yahawashi. Now, what's wrong with that? It's no E's, no O's, no V's, no U's, no J's, no F's in Hebrew. So this right here is Aramaic or Assyrian. All right. So this would be Yahawaha. And how do we know that? Let's take it over here. 2, actually, matter of fact, I want to make it better for you. Let's pull it up over here. I got it. I downloaded it. I gotta find it. It's in the university. The university. Boom. All right. Make it big. So, that ain't even the right one. I need the Aramaic. 1 second. Let me type it up. Aramaic, or I need the Assyrian. And it's like Google be switching it up, because it's one chart that's perfect, but it's like it's Satan or something, because I can't find it today. And no, that's not it. A lot of this Hebrew on here is fake, right? Assyrian. And I spelled that so wrong. And I saved the chart somewhere, but it's on my iPhone, which I'm recording with right now. And Salakia, I mean, forgive me. And I thought I saved it earlier, but I guess I didn't. It's like you got to type the keywords 600 BC. Man, they know what to do too. They took it out. Hold up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find it. I got it in my phone. Booyah. All right. I'm going to have to do it like this. Okay. So what we looking at is Assyrian. All right. Aramaic Hebrew. Now, we was going into it. The true name of the Father. It would be Yah. So we come back over here. That's what that character is. Yah. All right. And they know this. They know this too. They just teach it wrong. They put it wrong and everything. Ha, right? You come back over here, it's the same exact character. Ha. So that's Yah-ha. It's no E's, no O's, that Yahovah, none of that shit. All right? Now, Yah-ha, right? What's the next one? Wah, Yahawah. Okay? What is it going to look like? Like a backwards R. Boom. Right there. And then, oh, well, same thing. Ha. Ha again. So ha, ha. So Yahawah, ha. And this last A is going to be took off. So it's going to be Yahawah. Okay? Yahawah. All right? Now, Blue Letter Bible is solid, but the way that they try to do it is they try to add Yiddish. Now, I had a thing. Let's go get Yiddish. What is Yiddish? Let's zoom in, and I'm about to end. All right? Yiddish, a language used by Ish people, and we're not Ish people. They trying to be like us. ISH is to be like something. We're not like anything. We are those people. All right? In Central and Eastern Europe, before the cost, I can't say the whole word. They might take it down. It was originally a German dialect with words from Hebrew and several modern languages. So wait a minute. You mixing languages together? You taking stuff from Hebrew and you mixing it with other languages? All right? And is today spoken mainly in the U.S., Israel, and Russia. That ain't what we speak. We do not speak Yiddish. Okay? Who gave us Yiddish? Let's go get the man himself. Eliezer ben Yehuda. This guy with your looking ass. Alright? This guy is responsible for putting E's, O's, U's, and V's in the Hebrew language. He revived the Hebrew language. How you gonna revive something that's been right here? It's already it's the Native Americans were already talking it. When you came over, when Christopher Columbus came over to America, he brought with him what? A Hebrew interpreter. Okay? And Squanto was what? He was tribe of Gad. Squanto spoke Hebrew. So he was speaking to them. They were speaking in the same language. And how did they know that? Because you take it back to the Apocrypha, and it already told you. They came over here. For the Most High and showed signs for them and held still the flood. And they came to the same region. It's called Arsareth. It took them 1.5 years. Or they came to what? A place where never mankind dwelt. The scriptures let them know that they came over here. So they knew that the Northern Kingdom, Latinos and Native Americans, was over here, man. Hey, Shalawam, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham, man. Hey, good lesson today out there on the street, boy. I saw you. All right. So they let them know. So when Cristobal Colon came over here, he already had with him a couple Hebrew interpreters. All right. And that seals the deal. So how you going to revive this? Like I said earlier, they don't create, they duplicate. How you going to revive something that's already living? That's like I'm living and you trying to do CPR on me. What are you doing? I'm alive, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So this dude, Eliezer ben Yehuda, is still getting our people. He got them calling on Yahweh, Yehuda, Yeshua, Yahshua, Yehoda. I done heard all of it, man. All right? He got them calling on everything but Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And even in the Assyrian, it's Yahawah. All right? Now, to end this, let's go and get the proper Hebrew, the ancient, right? All you got to do is type in Yahawah, and his name going to come up. You type in Yahawah, go to images, automatically, right? It's going to show you his image, how he looks, and it's also going to show you the Hebrew. Now we take that and we go back over here to the alphabet, right? It's going to be Yahawah. Okay? Let's do it again. Yah looks like kind of like a Z. All right? Ha looks kind of like a backwards F. All right? And then Wah kind of looks like a Y. And then once again, Ha. So Yahawah. Yahawah. All right? The A, the last A is silent. Yahawah. All right? Or you can see it in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He exists. Ba means in, Ha means the, Sham means name. Yahawashi, he is salvation. So he exists in the name Yahawashi. All right, so Yahawashi is connecting us to Yahawah. He's like he's the mediator, as the scripture says, he's the mediator of the new covenant. Okay, he's standing in the gap for us, in between. And all praises be to Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Hebrews 12:24. And to Yahawashi, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel. So Yahawashi is standing in the gap for us, right? And we're not in the new covenant right now. We're in grace. We won't be in the new covenant until we're in those everlasting bodies as promised to us in Jeremiah the 31st chapter. Okay, so we're not there yet. We gotta continue to endure until the end. Those same shall be saved. That's in the book of Matthew. So, and I hope this has been a good Hebrew lesson. Yahawah. All right, Yahawah. And then let's also get Yahawashi's name up here before they try to take my live down, because they love to take my live down. All right. Boom. This solid right here. All right. Yahawah and then Yahawashi. Okay. Yahawah. And this is Shah. Right. Take it back to the alphabet. Salakia. Take it back to the alphabet and go to Shah. Right here. Kind of looks like a W. Shah. But it's going to be like a little connector right there. And you're going to go to I. So, Yahawashi. All right? Yahawah, Yahawashi. Okay? So, yes, we're in the time of grace, most definitely. So, hey, that's pretty much it. And you could really just type in Yahawah and Yahawashi on Google. You can get the true images of the Father and the Son. Okay, this would be Yahawah sitting on the throne. As brothers depict. These are depictions, but these are also told to us in the scriptures, in Daniel, the book of Daniel, in Revelations. Right, Yahawashi is depicted. So we have to go from the scriptures. We don't go from what man says. This would be Yahawashi appearing with the chariots, which are the clouds, or so-called UFOs that you may see in the sky, right? Those are the angels flying around, giving us hope. All right, this is Yahawah, with Yahawashi on the right hand, right? This is where Yahawashi is at right now, on the right hand of the Father, sitting there waiting to come down here and destroy this place, man. Not destroy it completely, but take out Satan and take out everybody that ever came. It's some vengeance that's about to be brought upon this place, because it's wicked as hell. All right. What did Yahawashi say? Luke 12:49. And this is the last scripture, and I'm gonna close it out. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? All right, and it's already going to be kindled. You got civil war. You got a race war that's really going to break out probably around November, around the election. All right, that's what it's looking like. You have this new group, Patriot Front, which is basically KKK, you know, and then you got a lot of Jake that want to get carnal, want to pick up a pew pew, and they want to fight. Okay, this ain't the time to fight. We got to sit back and trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You don't need to be thinking about fighting. All right? When the time is to fight, man, our weapons are spiritual. We ain't being carnal. All right? So, hey, with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach. Oh, man, Salakia. But they really just hit me with a puzzle piece. I don't know what's up with that. All right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam to the hopeful elect. And words of wisdom, man, just pray, fast, and really seek Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and really, you know, discern from the false and study to show thyself approved. Trust somebody, but verify it. All right, I'm going to do a lesson on that. Lord willing, Yahawah Ratazah, tomorrow or Saturday. Trust, but verify. Really be diligent. We are told to study to show thyself approved. Just because somebody told you something, that doesn't mean anything. You really got to go and study it. Everything the elders ever told us, we studying it. We going forth and checking it. We verifying it. We ain't just being stupid sheep and just, oh, he said that. He got all these videos. He do this, he that. Nah, we actually going and researching it and making sure that we understand it as well. All right. With that being said, Shalawam, that's peace unto you. Shalawam, Shalawam, Shalawam.